So, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back once again to the greatest watch market update show in the world. As you know, we are a public service watch announcement channel and the only public service watch announcement channel in the tube. Nobody is doing what we're doing. We are just creating unbelievable stuff for you organic watch channel subscribers. That's right. Only for you guys we're doing this, because we're stupid like that. We like to be stupid like that to give you information that none of the people that you love, that you guys are a bunch of slave puppets to, they won't give it to you, but we will. I'm telling you, we will because we're stupid just like that. And we like it like that. Today, sitting next to me is no other than Sweet Kikino. He's always watching me to make sure that I say the proper things, that I don't make no mistakes. So he's just there watching me. He is the owner of this channel. He is the owner and the writer. Everything that I'm telling you, he writes it. He writes it down for me, and I am the voice. I am just the voice. All right, guys? Saludos, Alberto. Welcome to the show, Alberto. Only early for you. Only early for you. Sweet Kid Kino say we have to do it for Alberto early. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is the matinee. This is a matinee, watch market update show. A matinee, just for you guys. Early, so you guys can continue skip hopping around through life like bunny rabbits in the Playboy Mansion. So, ladies and gentlemen, don't forget, we ask you for one big favor. We do this for free, and we're asking you for a favor. Please don't forget to give us a thumbs up. A thumbs up if you haven't subscribed to this unbelievable public service watch announcement channel. You may do so, and you're not going to regret it. All right, guys? So please give us a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't. Ladies and gentlemen, let's continue on with the show. And I just want to start telling you guys something, ladies and gentlemen. The price of gold is unbelievable, ladies and gentlemen. And as we know, we like to give you prices of precious metal materials. And the first price we're going to give you, ladies and gentlemen, is palladium. The troy ounce of price of palladium is $1,459. All right? The price of platinum, the troy ounce of platinum is 1,583 with 48 cents a troy ounce. Ladies and gentlemen, rhodium, to my amaze, rhodium is just keeps on going up. Rhodium, you guys have to be awakened. You guys have to be looking at this, real well, because I'm telling you, at one moment, rhodium went all the way up to $27,000 a troy ounce price, all right? And I have spoken to you guys about, rhodium many times. And right now, at this moment, ladies and gentlemen, I'm still in shock. The price of the troy ounce of rhodium is $8,450, all right? Ladies and gentlemen, silver is unbelievable, take a look at silver. I'm not no financial advisor. I'm not here giving you no kind of advice, in finances and none of that stuff. I'm just a, yo soy un lambón, I'm a lambón, But I'm going to tell you, silver right now is at $48.90. Take a look-see at it, Don't fall asleep. Don't let the bus pass by you and you guys don't get on it. You guys need to get on it. This is the matinee watch market update, ladies and gentlemen. The matinee. So, later on tonight you can scratch your, te puedes rascar. ¿Tú entiendes? You can scratch, So don't, listen to what I'm telling you. This is unbelievable information for you guys. And ladies and gentlemen, I got to tell you something that's going to blow your mind away. Gold is standing firm and strong, It's standing strong and firm. And the troy ounce price of gold is $4,040 a troy ounce. That is gold, ladies and gentlemen. So, be prepared. Porque esto está, está Skifo, Skifo. You know what Skifo is? You Google it, because I'm not going to tell you what Skifo is, It's unbelievable. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to tell you something else. In the month of October, I believe a total of, 16 to 14 brand new watch models were released. And like I say always, none of your favorite Muppet Boiler Room secondary gray watch market channels and dealers won't tell you that. They're only going to tell you what they have, what they're working with, how they're getting greased up, by those independent watchmakers. Independent watchmakers, if they're getting greased up, they're going to promote it. But me, I'm not getting greased up. I'm not getting greased up, so I'm going to tell you. Today, I'm going to tell you, out of those 16 watches that have been released, I'm going to tell you four who I like very much. And I'm not getting greased up. I'm just doing it for free because I'm stupid like that. And I'm going to talk to you about a watch which is very, very, very beautiful. It's a very classic, watch. And it's a watch that they're making it in a new material that they're using, and is very, very beautiful. We're talking about the Cartier Santos, Cartier Santos in titanium. They're making it in titanium with a beautiful white dial. It has a casing of 39.8 millimeters. I say a 40 millimeter. It's unbelievable. I'm going to let you take a look-see at it, because it's a beautiful watch, It's a beautiful watch. And there it is right there. That's the Cartier. That is the Cartier Santos that has been released in titanium. Nobody's going to show you this because it's not to their advantage. They're not making no coins off it. But me, I'm doing it for free, as you know, because I'm stupid like that. Me and Sweet Kid Kino operate this way. We do it for free. We're not charging you guys no membership fees, no membership fees. None of that. This is all for free for you guys, all for free so you guys can see it. This is the new Cartier, El Cartier Nuevo, the new Cartier Santos titanium. But ladies and gentlemen, I was keeping the best for last. This right here, this Cartier has an interchangeable bracelet, interchangeable. You snap it, tap, and you put on the leather. You have another watch the next day, titanium one day, leather the next day. And there it is, it's a beautiful looking watch. And ladies and gentlemen, if you want to know the price, I will tell you the price too. And it's released on November the 1st. November the 1st. Don't pay. And this is the price for that watch. It's beautiful, this watch. The retail price is $11,500. Okay? $11,500 for that beautiful Cartier. The next watch that I have for you guys, ladies and gentlemen, is an Audemars Piguet Royal Oak, and unbelievable. This is the Audemars Piguet Royal Oak Titanium, titanium. And this watch, ladies and gentlemen, you're not going to believe it, but it's a chrono flying tourbillon. A chrono flying tourbillon, with a beautiful blue dial. And the Audemars Piguet is in cursive, in cursive. I'm going to show it to you so you guys, again, you guys can get better in knowing what's happening out there. These are the four watches that I like, so I want to show them to you what I like, my taste, because these lambones that you deal with, they won't tell you exactly, round five, exactly. This Alberto is too smart. He knows too much, So I'm going to show it to you so you know what's going on. And it's an unbelievable watch. And here it is. Here it is, the AP Flying Tourbillon Chrono. As you can see, it is beautiful. I find this watch to be very, very, very beautiful. Take a look at it. It's not a very, very economic watch. This is a very, very pricey time machine, as I say, a very, very pricey time machine, as I say. It's beautiful. I'm telling you, it's something incredible. And I want you to know this has it's kind of a small, well, maybe it's not a small casing to you, but it's a 38 millimeter casing, with a beautiful a blue dial. And like I said, the in cursive AP Royal Oak, Audemars Piguet in cursive, And ladies and gentlemen, if you're looking at this watch and you would like to know the retail price of this watch, well, I'm going to tell you, it has a blue tapestry dial, blue. And if you're looking to buy this watch, ladies and gentlemen, it's an unbelievable watch. This watch, the price is $325,000, right? $325,000. It's very economic, $325,000. Unbelievable, right, Alberto? What a watch. Unbelievable, ladies and gentlemen. The next watch that I'm going to show you and talk to you about is a Hublot. Hublot. And this is an unbelievable watch, this Hublot, ladies and gentlemen. It's the Hublot MR17 Mecha-10. The Argent Splash Titanium Sapphire. This is an unbelievable watch. This American, yes, impossible to get. Exactly, 325 and impossible to get, right? Unbelievable. This Hublot watch was also released in the month of October. I'm live. Yes, I am live, Brian. I'm live. This is a matinee. This is a matinee show today. This is a matinee. Matinee, like a matinee movie, watching Halloween, The Exorcist, the Chainsaw Massacre, that type of stuff. It's a matinee, So the Hublot that we're talking about is an unbelievable watch. And this watch that I'm going to show you, it's something special because it's designed by an American artist, by an American artist. It's been designed, and this is the watch. I'm going to show it to you so you see it. There it is. There it is, the watch. The American artist, the name is Daniel Arsham. Daniel Arsham. He has worked with Tiffany and Company in collaboration. He has worked with Dior, Christian Dior. He's worked with, big people. And this is a watch that is, unbelievable looking. It looks totally different from what Hublot does, as you can see it there. It's a nice looking watch. I like it. I would like to see it in person one day so I can really give you really what I think of it. Because, the pictures you really can't tell too much, But it's an unbelievable looking time machine, Titanium, sapphire, and like I said again, it's made by the American artist Daniel Arsham, He's at it again, collaborating with all these brands, these unbelievable brands. So this is a watch that if you want to take a, find out about it, it's a very limited, 99 pieces. It's a 42 millimeter, Hublot's trying to get back in there, trying to make big things happen, There it is, the watch. Okay? That is the third watch. And the fourth watch that I have is a Uwork, 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 like you work, Urek, a Urek time machine, And I'm going to show you that watch so you can also see it. It's a very, very nice looking time machine. And this is the watch right here so you can see it, okay? The Urek Space Meter, 45 millimeter, titanium, titanium. This is, it comes in a black or gray, a PVD dial, Only 25 pieces have been made of this watch. Only 25 pieces of each, of the gray, you know what I'm saying? It's available. So you got the black or the gray. You can get that watch. Hey, what happened here? There it is, okay? It's an unbelievable watch. And this watch is also available for a price tag of, retail price, $94,000. Either the black or the gray, okay? There it is. Those are the watches, ladies and gentlemen, that I have for you. So we got that, right? Okay, we got that. Ladies and gentlemen, I also want to talk to you about a subject that is kind of crazy. We had in Paris, in Paris, France. We had in the National Museum. The National Museum, we had a big heist over there, you know? We had a real big heist. You know, before I continue, I wanna say thank you to my sponsors, you know? As you these people are my sponsors. They give me a couple of free cards from this steakhouse. It's called Outback, you know? They give me like $75, you know, they give me a card, one of those gift cards, you know, if I show them, you know, this hat, you know, I got a couple of them here. It's unbelievable what I do, you know, for for a gift card, you know. Also, we have it here, you know. These are the yachts. These are my sponsors. You know, they sponsor me, and they always send me a gift card, you know, so I can go have you know, one of those kangaroo beers over the Australian beers in that, you know, the steakhouse. All right, just do one more time. Let me, you can see it. You know, unbelievable. I got a sponsor. You know, believe we're getting big in this channel, ladies and gentlemen. We're getting very, very big. Getting very big in this channel. So, ladies and gentlemen, we had something that happened very, very big in the National Museum in Paris. You know, in Paris, it's unbelievable. Exploders. Okay, all right, okay. So we had a heist, and they took all those fancy jewels they had there. They took everything, Thurston. They took everything, Thurston Howard III. They took all the jewels in the heist in Paris, you know, in the National Museum in Paris. I am Paris, France. They took it, ladies and gentlemen. I'm telling you that these people are going bananas what they're doing, you know, stealing, robbing, you know, hurting people out there. La situación está jodida, you know? La situación está jodida. Yes, there, listen to me. Before you know it, those ADs are going to start, you know, letting watches keep on going because, papi, there's no money out there. You know, no hay dinero, papi. Ya no hay dinero en la calle. As you can see, I'm talking about the National Museum of Paris. But ladies and gentlemen, you should pay attention to this. You should pay attention to this. There's been a second major hit in Paris in France. They went into, they broke into this, they targeted this gold refinery, you know, gold refinery. And the second one, Wicked, the second one, Papi, the second one. But these people, you know, they're not playing around. I'm telling you, they're not playing around. They're not playing around. And they went there and they took, you know, euros, you know, euros, $12 million in gold, you know, 12 million euros, excuse me, 12 million euros in gold, 12 million, ladies and gentlemen, you know. They went into a refinery and, you know, pa, you know, ping, pa, let's go, give me the kilos, you know, wow, ping. And, you know, it's a big gang. They were like around 6, you know, a big gang. And they're you know, they're you know, robbing people for gold, for what they want. You know, they're robbing people for what, you know, there it is, 12 million. Thank you very much. Thank you, Swiftest. Thank you very much. You know, I don't know. You know, they're taking everything, you know, they're taking everything. So you got to watch it, ladies and gentlemen, with your precious metal watches, your gold chains, you know, all that stuff. You got to watch it. The people are going mad. And especially today, you know, people, November the 1st, está jodida la situación por la calle, okay? So I'm letting you know about that, you know. They're looking for the people, and I think they have like 6 apprehended already. They got like 6 apprehended, you know. Están jodidos, lo tienen cogido. So I wanted to let you know about that so you are very careful, you know, okay? Okay, so you know what? Listen to me. I'm going to tell you something. When I tell you now what I'm going to tell you, you're going to, you know, understand. Ladies and gentlemen, the crypto market on the, you know, on the bloodbath of Halloween, the crypto market, yesterday, it went down. It went down to over, listen and learn. It went down over $170 billion. You know, $170 billion. It went down to 100 and I don't know, 109,000 now, Another hit, Another hit. Ladies and gentlemen, we have to be awakened what's going on in the world. You guys cannot continue skip hopping around through life like bunny rabbits. You have to look at what's happening in the world. So when you say that I'm looking at the gold, listen to me, papi. I started telling you people buy gold. I started, hey, you should look at gold. Again, I didn't tell you to buy it. I take it back, I started telling you at 1,400, 1,800, 2,500. And ladies and gentlemen, it's standing firm at $4,040 a troy ounce, papi. Papi, go ahead, macho. Go ahead, macho. You know it. They're losing food, they're losing food stamp, they're losing crypto. Esto está virado al revés. BlackRock, Blackstone, the Bilderbergers, Vanguard, the Rothschilds, Rockefellers, JP Morgan. They're getting all the money for them, papi. Ustedes, mira, esto para ustedes. This for you, deep, deep in there, real deep. I'm telling you, 170 billion on the bloodbath, on the eve of Halloween. Halloween, papi. Halloween, papá. Mira, pa' dentro, duro. Bien pa' dentro. 170 billion, not million. If I said million, I'm sorry. Billion. $170 billion, ladies and gentlemen. A single 24-hour period. Oh, man. As of November the 1st, 2025, the total global cryptocurrency market capitalization is approximately $3.7 trillion to $3.8 trillion. Papi, you know what 170 billion is, papi? Rompiendo, papi. They want it all for them, The ICA wants it all for them. You know what I'm saying? They want it for the kid. The guy from Pennsylvania Avenue, they have a son, that guy. They're already declaring he's the richest, youngest kid of cryptocurrency. Ustedes no entienden esto. You guys continue walking around like Michiganers, like Michiganers. But that's fine. It's what it is. I keep on telling you this. Ladies and gentlemen, the crypto market is volatile. Está jodido, papi. Está jodido. And you're going to tell me you're going to compare somebody that made something in 2009, they invented this, invented this crypto thing. Is papi. You guys are falling asleep with gold again. And I'm watching you. You guys are falling asleep. And they're banking. All these banks are banking again. They're banking again. Morgan Stanley, they're sitting pretty. You don't understand what's happening, ladies and gentlemen. The shutdown, ladies and gentlemen, we're still in a shutdown. The government shut down. The United States Federal Reserve is facing, challenging times, they're facing challenge, inflation, the labor market, el desempleo, people not working out there. People are not working. People are doing bad out there, ladies and gentlemen. The people, let me tell you, we have 42 million people that depend on what they're not getting today. SNAP, food, alimento. La gente está jodido por la calle. People out there están mal. There's no money out there, ladies and gentlemen. Maybe you have a couple of coins, but not the rest of that 12.7% of the Americans. We have 350 million Americans in this country, and 42 million are using SNAP. Whether they're using it for real resources, that they really are not well, or they're just, frogging the system, whatever you want to call it. But, 42 million Americans use SNAP. I mean, maybe you can help me with that, Brand. Please help me out with that. I don't know. Remember, I'm kind of stupid, you know. I'm just telling you what's going on. I'm telling you, they will starve. Okay, look at that. This is Papi. Let me tell you, people. I'm gonna tell you something because I read and I try to understand it as much as I can. Probably people are giving up their pets. They're going to the ASAP, the animal, whatever you call it, and giving away the animal. I can't. Or I eat or the dog eats. No hay dinero, papi. La situación está jodida. And I'm telling you all these things one by one. It's crazy. It's exactly what that word right there, the ASPCA. Thank you very much. Tú sabes, there's people out there that they say, "Oh yeah, I'm not getting SNAP." People listen to me, guys. People that are using that SNAP, they use it for themselves and also they use it for their animals. To feed them with Alpo food, canned goods. But they're not giving it to them. They're not giving in that money. Whether it's $1,500 a month, with some ham, cheese, and bread and milk, and a little leftover money to go to the bingo parlor to play with Paula, Paula and Luis. They get together, Tú sabes, no está jodido. Okay, but then the other thing is, ladies and gentlemen, we're giving 22 billion to Israel. We're giving 40 billion to Argentina. And we're giving 160 billion to Ukraine. But we have these Americans here that they're walking the streets, that they don't know what to do. Let me tell you something. A empty stomach is very peligroso. You got to be very careful to see people, without nothing in their tummy, their children, the milk, the formula. Esto está jodido, muchacho. I come in the defense. I'm telling you what's going on. The world is upside down. Oh, exactly. Must be achieved. Okay. Exactly. And then the crazy thing is, thank you, Thurston Howard, for reminding me. The thing is, ladies and gentlemen, that some of these people were people that were very successful and they lost their house. Do you know that the repossession of cars in the United States, I'm going to say the United States first and then I'll go around the world, but the United States, they're picking up cars all over the place. They're picking up the car. If you live in a condominium, they'll talk to the, front gate. Listen, in this house, apartment, 16A, they have there a Benz, a 600 SL, and, they haven't paid and they have it there here and we have to pick it up. Papi, they're going to work together and they're going to get that car to there, But now the banks don't know what to do with so many cars. You have the ghost town. You have the highest. Wow, thank you, Thurston. There it is, ladies and gentlemen. I told you guys that this show is yours, and you can write there, and I'm going to say Thurston said that. I didn't say it. Thurston Howard III said the highest rate since the great financial crisis. I'm telling you, there's cars everywhere. There's going to be, I don't want to use these words, but I'll use it anyway. There's going to be a shitload of cars out there and, in la subasta. How do you say subasta? ¿Cómo se dice subasta en inglés? Auctions, There's cars all over the place. Porsches, Ferraris, boats, helicopters, everything, papi. No hay dinero por la calle. No hay dinero. There's no money. This is why they ask me, so how do you get your watch prices? How do you get gold prices? I'm telling you how I'm getting it. There's no money out there. No hay dinero, papi. There's no money out there. La situación está jodida. Está bien jodida. And then you got people, ladies and gentlemen, you know what the most embarrassing thing is, ladies and gentlemen? The most embarrassing thing is when you see that people are, have been MK Ultra, they've been, the trans, they've been trans, and what they have been told, they follow up on that. They told me, how is it? They write down to me. They told me, well, the other watch channels say that your prices are wrong and their prices are right, and you say that they say that the watch costs $100,000 and you say it costs 85. And I'm gonna be honest, I believe Deputy Boxing Black Eyes. I believe the Warriors Fat Bastard. I believe the two Toddler Body Brothers. I believe the two Jehovah Witness brothers. I believe Big Pun and Heavy D. I believe the Hungry Hippo, Mr. Magoo. So I'm telling you 85, and you're saying they say 100, and you believe those. This is how it is, papi. This is how it is. You understand? Those are mentes. Those are brains that have been, already le comieron el cerebro. They've been brainwashed, and that's it. And that's when you say, forget it. Forget it. Forget it. These people tan loco. Tan loco. You know what's to tell me? I want to pay 100,000. I'm telling you 85. He's telling me no, you're wrong. For sure, we're dealing with another Muppet Boiler Room secondary gray watch market channel, but I'm telling you what they write. It doesn't even make sense. I'm telling them don't pay 85. They're saying 100. I say don't pay more than 85. And you guys are questioning me. You guys are. I don't even. You know what I do to them? To be honest, do you know what I do? Yes, we are live, Bass. Welcome to the show. Welcome, Bass. You know what I told them when they told me that? This is what I give them. A logo. That's what I do. They don't even make no more comments. They disappear. I just give them a logo because people are still saying, how is it that Deputy Boxing Black Eyes says that watch costs 90 and you're saying that don't pay more than 78. I believe, and then they tell you, I believe the one that said 90. You say, "Está loco." That's how the people, this is how the masses of the world work. You believe everything. Like an example. If you think for a moment that I believe everything that the owners, del gobierno, the government say, you're wrong. I don't believe everything they say. But basically, the whole world of the United States does believe that, Exactly. So people still believe, they still believe that, a Patek Philippe Rose Gold 5990 costs $200,000. And it doesn't cost $200,000. And they will question you that your price is wrong from the two Toddler Body brothers. Your price is wrong compared to the Hungry Hippo, Mr. Magoo. He has such price, and I believe that price. That's how you. Thank you, Damon. You were hearing me. Okay, thank you. I sit down, I watch, and I pick and choose what I want mi cerebro, my brain, to input. Tú sabes, it's what it is. No, I don't want this in my brain. I don't want it. This one, I don't want either. Get it out, get it out, get it out. And all of you people, like with the watch people, you're so mesmerized and so, the Pluto trance, Pluto, olive oil, and Brutus, Pluto, right? Popeye, Pluto, and olive oil. Every time that, that Pluto wanted to, to play around with olive oil, he just do that to her. And the skinny girl, she would do the shaky boom boom, and Popeye would stay homeless, como un pendejo. And this is what you guys are. Exactly. I describe you people, and this is what's going on in the world. We have people out there that believe everything that they tell you. No, papi, la cabeza no es solamente para pelo. Your head is not only for hair. It's for thinking, for critical thinking, And they know that the United States of America they don't think critical. They think como lambones y palomos. I don't know, Mr. Damon, if the government tells you that means it's B. Exactly, A, you go with B. But this is how it is. I'm telling you, it's an embarrassment to see, I'm getting a free gift card from Outback. I don't care if they're going that way. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'm telling you, you guys need to wake up. The masses need to wake up. There's crazy times. The United States Federal Reserve is facing challenges, inflation and labor in the labor market. With la gente está sin trabajo. You might think that, that people are working and everything is beautiful. La gente está pasando hambre. Están pasando hambre. People are starving out there. Starving Marvin. Tokenization is coming. There you go. Thank you. Some people remember still all these things. I told you about that guy. That guy from BlackRock. I don't want to say his name because I don't want to get a thunder lightning. My TV tower antenna and blow me up. You know what I'm saying. Thank you again, Bass, for helping me out. He told you guys. He gave you the subliminal message and you ran with it. And you ran with it, right? Tokenization. Yesterday, the Halloween bloodbath was 170 billion in cryptocurrency or Bitcoin, whatever you want to call it. No coman mierda. No coman mierda. We got to stop eating shit. That's what I said in Spanish. We got to stop eating shit. We got to be critical thinkers. Exactly. You own nothing. Exactly. And you'll be happy. And you will be happy. And this is the way they want us. They want us obedient slaves. And me and Sweet Kikino, they're coming for us. Because we're telling you too many things. We're telling you too many things. Ladies and gentlemen, I finished telling you that a person that collects watches told me, you know what? I believe he said that the watch price is $100,000 and you're saying it's 85. Yo dije, diablo, están enfermo. These people are sick. These people are sick. These people are sick. Están enfermo. Because that's how they are. That's how they thought. And this is what they believe also in politics. This is what they believe in whatever it is, man. You guys say. You guys are smarter than me. It's what it is. Esto es un arroz con mierda. Esto es un arroz con mierda. This is rice with shit. Not rice with spam. No, rice with shit. Rice with shit. Rice with spam, is good. People are, listen to me, ladies and gentlemen. When I was a younger man and I went to the public school 91 in the Bronx, and your friends would tell you, man, you eat white rice with spam. That was like an insult, right? They were telling you, man, you don't eat well. You're eating white rice with spam. The spam. It came in a little can and you had to twist it around like that. You understand me? Exactly. That's what I mean, Mr. Donut. Welcome to the show, Mr. Donut. Look at that. $9 for 3 meatballs. Papi, ¿cómo? This gentleman pays in San Francisco for 3 meatballs. Meatballs. $9. So back in the 70s, I would eat white rice. That's peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. White rice with spam. But ladies and gentlemen, at that time, it was an insult, to be known that you were eating white rice with spam. I don't know about you guys, but I come from the Bronx in a I lived in the hood. And I'm going to tell you, today, ladies and gentlemen, they're making commercials on spam. Like it's, a spam today. Can somebody tell me how much a spam costs today? Spam, spam. You're not going to believe me. Back then, I'm telling you, it was something like, this was the bottom of the barrel. Jacob McChicken. So, ladies and gentlemen, 3 for $10 at Costco. Wow, man. I'm in shock. 3 for $10 in Costco. Papi, this was 35 cents a can. It would feed me, my sister, my father, and my mother. And my mother would fry it, Right around, right, Thurston? My mother would fry it, man. Nice, man. And she would dress it up. She would make $4 for a 12-ounce can. Listen to this one. Today is, Papi, you can't. You think the people of Snap can be spending $4 on a can of Spam? Papi, it's a luxury. It's a luxury. But when I ate it, they will make fun of me. There goes the Puerto Rican little kid. There goes the Puerto Rican white boy that eats rice with Spam. Yeah, and you will like, you will go home walking, but I will never let anything, bring me down. It's what I was. I would tell people, I love it, I love it. Or another plate that we had was white rice with eggs. 3 eggs, 2 eggs. If we had three eggs that day, it was a big day. 3 eggs was a big day. 2, it was so. But I'm letting you guys know, ladies and gentlemen, you need to be very, very careful because these people están loco. I already came to the conclusion that the people out there, I don't know what they're doing to our children. I don't know if it's the fluorine. I don't know if it's the water. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't know, man. I don't know what's going on because, the one that has the money, listen to me, the one that has the money is the one that makes the rules. Forget about it. Paco Gambino told me that, and it took me years to understand when he told me that. And I was already an adult when he told me that. He says, Juan, who has the money makes the rules. And I had a hard time understanding that. And I believe sometimes and there's nothing wrong, you might have, exactly. The rules control everything. That's right, Thurston Howell. That's right, Mr. Donut. The rules control. Who has the money? Who has the money makes the rules. He would tell me that, and I said, but isn't the president? Isn't the president the one that he would look at me? He would smile. Like he would smile, and that smile, he was calling me a dodo bird. He was calling me a mashugana. He was calling me un lambón, un palomo. He was calling me a cow tipper. A possum kicker, a crumb bum, sandbag. He used to love to use sandbag and crumb bum. That was one thing. So he would look at me. He was so gentle with me. He was so gentle that he would just smile. Because I would say, but isn't the president the one that, makes everything? And he would tell me, he says, Juan, the one that controls the money, the one that has all the money is the one that makes the rules. And then years I developed, and I said, oh my God, I was sleeping, and he would tell me things and I really wouldn't understand. So I'm telling you the same thing, ladies and gentlemen. Don't think for a moment the guy from Pennsylvania Avenue is calling the shots. Come on, you gotta be kidding me, man. I'm just telling you, everything that I'm telling you here is allegedly, allegedly. Everything I'm telling you is allegedly. And the owner of this channel is not me. The owner of this channel is Sweet Kick Kino, which is right there. Just in case you want to throw a thunder lightning, you're not throwing it to me. You're throwing it to Sweet Kick Kino. You know what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying, Mr. Bass. You're a smart man. I know already you're a smart man. And people out there are believing that, it's this one and that one and that one and this one. Bobby is crazy. Listen to me. We have an epidemic in this country with a lot of people using some kind of a medicine to stimulate their brain, like the fentanyl. They stay like this for 5 days. Did you Philadelphia, ladies and gentlemen, Philadelphia, the people in Philadelphia, man, I do not know, what kind of water they're drinking from their faucet, what they're eating, if they're using Crest, Colgate, paste to, wash their mouth. But the people out there are frogged up, man. You know what I'm trying to say, Mr. Damon. Stick with the jungle juice. Guys, get away from that, man. Get away from that. Listen to me. I believe that, and it's scary you talk about that. It's very, very scary. And you have to be very, very careful the way you talk about these things because, they can slap you around. But you know, in that Corona beer era, you know, that Corona beer era, I remember that I left somebody in that time, you know, 2020, right? And he was this person, a gold, lucky, happy person. And then we look at 2025 and the person is, you know, introverted. He doesn't have too much smile in his face. I don't know what happened, you know? I don't know what happened, but we have a lot of people like this, you know, tú sabes, you know, so that, people, too many boxers, with the jab, 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 the boxers, they were, Marvin Hagler, Duran, Muhammad Ali, the jab, jab, it's unbelievable, ladies and gentlemen. I gotta watch it, so I tell you what's going on, so you understand what's happening. That things are not good out there. I just finished telling you because people are still keep hopping around saying, but go. Listen, man, not go. Look at this thing. Some people say, I don't know too much about a cryptocurrency. So I'm gonna ask Mr. Donut, Mr. Bass, Mr. Thurston Howell. I'm gonna ask, Mr. Damon, what's happening with crypto, with Bitcoin, Another yesterday, a Halloween bloodbath, $170 billion. And they have a total out there of 3.7 trillion to 3.8 trillion dollars, on that cryptocurrency. If you lose 170 billion, something is not right, something is not right out there. I'm asking you guys because you guys know about this, You- the Halloween is special, and it happened on the 31st. Like that guy, from the guy that with Jamie Lee, the Halloween movie, boom, right there. When you were trick or treating, I was trick or treating with my grandkids. No inherent value. There you go. You see, I'm telling you, we have smart people on this channel that they are the owners, allegedly, of this channel. Allegedly, they're the owners of this channel, too. No te meta aquí, no. No te meta. Ese Damon, él sabe mucho. You understand me? This is incredible. And I gotta tell you that so you know what's going on. Ladies and gentlemen, you cannot continue listening. Listen, but pick and choose what you want in your head. Don't let these people keep on putting in your head stupid. Stupid in here. Don't let it get here, stupid. Don't let it. You have people that are still going to question you, your price of $85,000. I don't believe you. I believe Deputy Boxing Black Eyes price of $102,000. Así estamos, papi. Así estamos. That's how we are. And if you look at everything, that's how it is. Así estamos. You know what it is that somebody that O'Donnell Rosie, it's incredible the Fed, what's happening in the Fed. They cannot control it, Mr. Donald. They cannot, and they probably won't be able to control it. And the guy over there, the guy from Pennsylvania with the filibuster over there, the Pennsylvania guy, he's talking about the filibuster. I don't know how to say that word. You help me out, No puede ser nada, papi. No, make your money and move on like the rest do. It doesn't matter if it's blue or red or blue. It doesn't matter. Okay, it's stable. Okay, está bien, stable. Listen, guys, I'm just gonna tell you, don't let nobody invade tu cerebro, Don't let nobody invade your brain. They want obedient, slaves. They're not gonna question nothing. If you question something, you will be punished for, questioning it. Whatever it is, they tell you is what it is. You know? Tú sabes, that's what it is. Exactly. La misma mierda con diferente peste. The same shit with different smell. That's all. I'm not saying nothing. I'm just telling you, you pick and choose what you want to let enter your head. Because if you keep on letting enter stupid, te vas a quedar estúpido. You're going to stay stupid, you know? And this is why I'm doing this matinee. This is a matinee, papi. This is like watching Creature Feature, you know? A double feature in the theater. Matinee. 2 for 1. You know, back then in the Bronx, in the Art Theater and Jerome Avenue, I would pay $2. I would see 2 movies. Unbelievable. Bruce Lee, Enter the Dragon, Kung Fu, fa. You know what I'm saying? Unbelievable. And ladies and gentlemen, papi, the dollar is the dollar weak, ladies and gentlemen? You know, is it weak? Is it really, you know, está bien? Is the dollar well? Tell me. You know? Switching, there you go, coño. There you go, creative experiment. You know what? The only one that I have heard today said that, and I wanted somebody to say it, and I never said, I just gave you words. The only one to say that was crypto experiments. Investors don't believe in crypto and are switching to gold. I didn't say it, but I wanted to say it. But if I say it, it's no good. I need one of you to say it. So people were talking about the dollar. People were talking about crypto, Bitcoin. No, papi, we don't, you know, let me tell you, whoever, yes, it's weak. Coño, eso está brutal. And people are telling you, no, that the job employment is wonderful, it's stable, the dollar's well. Papi, coño, no se tapen los ojos con el cielo. You know? Don't se tapen los ojos. Don't hide your eyes in the sun. You know? You got to see the truth. This is why things don't finish falling all the way down. Because certain people will keep it alive. Saying that the watch market is alive, that everything is beautiful. You're going to tell me there's no changes with everything I'm telling you? The federal, crypto, the weak dollar, the government. Papi, the government shut down. There's a company called Kashi, which is a marketing. Can somebody help me with this, what I'm saying? It's a marketing thing, you know, they're into stocks, market, this, that. But at the same time, you can bet on what's going to happen, if this is going to happen, not going to happen. I heard the other guy from Pennsylvania Avenue, because we're already like in our 30. Can anybody tell me how many days is the shutdown already? 31? 32? Going once? Going twice? What is it? What is the shutdown? I'm going to give you a watch market update, but what is the shutdown? What is it? 31, 32? Nobody knows? Okay. So that guy's already talking 31 plus. 31 plus days. The biggest has been 35 days, right? The world doesn't use another currency because we have. Exactly. Well said, Brand. So we have 31 plus days. The record is 35 days. But then this thing called, thank you, Brand. Kashi is saying that they're saying that the over-under, papi, I told you that everything is gambling, papi. Everything is gambling. The over-under on Kashi, they're saying is 39 under, 39 over. Óyete esto, para que tú veas que gonorreas son gonorreas. Okay, but see, you're right. It'll beat the 35. But I'm telling you, Mr. Donut, it's not the 35. Kashi is saying over under 39. 39 under, over 39. So a big shot goes over there to Kashi, and says, you know what? I'm going to put $60,000 on the over of 39 days, government shutdown, to make $120,000. Right? Did you hear me? This person goes, they show it, they show you the ticket and everything. He put $60,000. What does he have left for the over-under? If today is 31 or 32 days, let's say 31, right? Tomorrow's 32. The Pepsi who will win. Exactly. So they say that, and the guy puts 60 G's on the over of 39 days. We at 31. It doesn't look that simple, because if you go, tomorrow's 32, right? And Monday to Friday will be 37. 39 will be on Sunday. Am I saying it right or wrong? Help me out, guys. No sean lambones. Is it like that? So the guy from Pennsylvania Avenue already saying, listen to this. Allegedly, maybe it's, these people, it's all fake news, Gracias, Bass. Thank you, Bass. Thank you, coño, Bass. Eres grande. Gracias, Bass. So the guy from Pennsylvania Avenue said already, I'm going to tell you in my way of, saying things. I don't care. You know how I don't care. Bam, we're going to put a filibuster. We're going to do this. And we're going to have to create something to open the shutdown. And, I don't care. We have to do it. We gotta get the shutdown off our backs already and get our country running, right? Because, papi, there's so much money riding on this right now. There's so much money riding on this that you bet 60,000, you get back 120. It's very simple. It's real simple. Paco Gambino told me this always. And I'm going to tell all of you guys right now. It's all the Matrix one. Exactly. Thank you again, Bass. Bass, you're on fire. You're on fire. Paco Gambino told me once, he says, you want a sure bet? And I said, what do you mean? You want a real sure bet, legal bet. And I said, but what do you mean? He says, I'm asking you, you want something that's, that it's going to be for real. It's going to happen. It's a real bet. There's no cheating. There's no corruption. There's nobody getting sick, a twisted ankle, the real thing. And I'm looking at him. He says, the only real honest bet there is a coin, a flip coin, heads or tails. And the only way you can cheat there is if you put heads on both sides, right? But you can't do that because you're going to play heads or tails. That is the only safe bet that we have. Real bet. That doesn't mean you're going to win because it's real quick. It only lasts a second. Boom, pop, heads up, you lost. That's it. Do you know that in Major League Baseball, Exactly. Thank you, Bass. Thank you again. That is the only fair bet there is. Heads or tails. The coin. You flip it, boom, it's over the bet. And you can bet whatever you want. I'm betting $1 million on heads, right? Or I'm betting $1 million on tails. You throw it in the air, pop, pay me. I'll pay you. That's it. Papi, Paco Gambino told me this. And today I go, coño. Or black or red. Exactly. Or black or red. Thank you. But let's use a little money into this so you understand me. And people are still coño. They're betting on this, betting on that. If I told you something, it's gonna blow your mind. Right? Ladies and gentlemen, they have hundreds and hundreds of different bets that you can play on sports. But I'm going to tell you one that when I heard it, I said, wow, man, this is unbelievable. So you go to Vegas, right? You go to Vegas, Las Vegas, Nevada, which I'm going to talk to you about Vegas. I said it wrong. Let's get Vegas out of the equation. You go to Hard Rock. Hard Rock. You go there to the cage. And you put down, I'm going to put, so you understand me, $1,000 on the first pitch of the game. Listen to me, $1,000. I said 1,000 so you can understand me. $1,000 on the first pitch. And you're gonna put there, on the first pitch, I'm calling that the pitcher is gonna throw a ball. You know, you have a strike and you have a ball. Strike and ball. You go there, you bet, give me $1,000 that on the first pitch that he throws the rock. Guys, I don't know if you know this about me, but I used to play baseball. True, 100% true, okay? So, 100% true, I play baseball. So the guy bets that the pitcher, but that's, no, he doesn't care. They don't care about that. They're talking about a pitch. What is the pitch? A ball or a strike? What's going to be coming in? You know? Boom! Because let's be honest, on that first pitch, every batter that goes to the plate is taking a look. You know? To see what this guy is coming, what is his craft? What is he coming in with? You know? Had a good hook, you know? You know what I'm saying? Has a good fastball, you know, sinker, what change up, whatever it is, right? But they bet that. Ladies and gentlemen, they bet on a ball, on a strike, $1,000. The bet finishes like this. And you say, and they tell you those are the real bets. But the rest, they're fantasies. They're fantasies. You gotta go with what Mr. Donut said, black or red, you know, and maybe you can even get a clip because it might come out the green, right? I think the 0 is green. Can somebody help me out? Not a big gambler, but I think it's green, right? Something to that. But la gente tan loca, you know. So this is what's happening out there, ladies and gentlemen. You have all these people, all these young kids that they have become addicts of going over there to, you know, to put money on those football games, and they're sitting there instead of going to their, to their law class. They're sitting in there betting because they're thinking they're gonna hit a 10-game parlay or a 10 position parlay. It's crazy. Desperate gamblers. When you play desperately, you're gonna lose because it's the law. You know, it's the law. I'm gonna stop talking about this because I need to give you a watch market update, and I'm gonna give it to you. I'm gonna give you a watch market update. I hope I made some sense to you guys on how I see things, and I see it on the way the world is moving around. Papi, es una jodienda. It's all a business. The world's all a business. It's all about this, papi. It's all about this. And they don't care. It's all about this. You heard what Larry Fink, said. And he said it so beautiful that I have to repeat it. We don't need these people to buy crypto, all their money that they have in the bank. We don't need that. So matter of fact, they can spend listen to this, so you understand how Machiavellical these people are, Machiavellical. They say, no, we don't need Juan and Kino. If Juan and Kino have $100,000 in the bank, we don't want them to buy, tokenization, tokenize this, crypto. You spend $500. Papi, la matemática está hecha ya. They know we don't need these people to go crazy. We don't want them to spend all their money, all their savings on tokenization, tokenize. Just spend $500, and they have the math already. So una jodienda. That guy, the guy, he wants all your tokens. That's all. And they're gonna make it. Papi, these people, I'm going to say the last one that I need to tell you guys. I'm going to tell you the last one, and I'm out of here. I'm going to tell you, when you're a millionaire, when you have $1 million, which $1 million at one moment was unbelievable. El Diablo, papá, El Diablo, in disguise. And also he likes hot dogs and donuts and pizza. Again, my father and Paco, they told me this when these two people were living in this world. They told me, when you were a millionaire at one moment was, you were a millionaire, Now today, any Tom, Dick, and Harry is a millionaire, right? But then they showed me the people that become a billionaire, they have carte blanche to see everything that's happening. Whatever medicine is coming out, whatever electronic is coming out, whatever electric cars, Tesla, whatever's coming out, they have the first shot at it. When you are a billionaire, medicine. If you have what's the name of that medicine? This medicine was unbelievable. It worked like a charm. My father never got to use it because we spoke about that. Remember that medicine that the people when they will reach a certain age, a certain part of his body wasn't functioning correctly, and then they had that little blue pill. I think Pfizer. They would sell that thing, right? That came out exactly. They're on top of the hill. Coño, help me out, Bass. You're on fire today. You know exactly what I'm saying. You must be saying, coño, exactly. Esa mimita. That one right there he put down. That pill came out many years ago, but the people that were billionaires were the ones watching it, They were the ones going, to the Illuminati party. Illuminati, the Illuminati party? They will wear the mask, and the cape, Esa. No, but the first one was the first one, with the V. Right, but the first one that came out was that one, the blue pill was the first one. Then that one came along. But that one, people, those people that have the $1 billion, they were seeing it already. They were seeing it in the 80s. They were going to parties, the Illuminati party and over there in Special Avenue, and they had that, and they were walking around the whole party the whole day with a flag on, a flag. Unbelievable, these people, unbelievable. And this is what it is. When you become a billionaire, you had that perk. Like Mr. Bass said, he was on top of the hill. I didn't say that. I can't take credit for that. I have to give it to Mr. Bass, the credit, they salute the owl. They salute the owl. Top of the hill, bro. There it is. When you're on top of the hill, you get to see everything. Listen to me, ladies and gentlemen. I'm probably not gonna be able to give you a watch market because we're too deep into this now. You remember that basketball player? That he was unbelievable. He used to do magic. He used to do a lot of magic in the basketball court. Ladies and gentlemen, this happened in 1990, 91. Then he went out and he spoke and he told the people, I'm retiring from basketball because I have a disease with a very, small word. And, I can't play no more. This happened in 1990. We're in 2026, papi. Exactly. That guy. He had that. Did that guy die? No, because that guy, they had him somewhere. He had a couple of people, papi. We got this medicine that you're always gonna have this thing. Exactly, Bass. You're gonna have this thing always, but you're gonna be able to continue living with Cookie Monster. He's just fine. You're gonna go with Cookie Monster. And he has, like I told you, all these people that they're in the agenda for some reason. I don't have nothing against it because it's what it is. I don't understand how all these celebrities have a daughter or a daughter that wants to be a boy that wants to be a girl. It's all of them, and they're pushing the agenda on us the whole day. And you look at him, you go, coño, and his son looks like he's 6'7", 6'8". He could have been a power forward, like unbelievable, ladies and gentlemen. Somebody stop me, please. Somebody stop me. I think I look at things too much. And, so they gave him that little pill, and he's been traveling the whole world in yachts and nothing happened because, like Mr. Bass showed me, they're on top of the hill, man, looking down. When you hit that $1 billion mark, papi, eres una jodienda. And people don't understand that. People don't even want to hear that. They don't know. They want to continue skip hopping around through life. This is why these people, some of these people, their mindset is so far ahead of ours, and they have the same cerebro que los otros. They just have more knowledge. Right, Mr. Bass? Isn't it that way? They have more knowledge. I wish today that I still have Paco and my father around, because these motherfroggers, what they had in their head, it was crazy. It was crazy, and it does make sense today. Now you have to have, instead of exactly more money, more money. But you see, when they told me that it was $1 billion today, now they raised it up. You gotta have a mark of 10. You know, like in the casino, 10. You know, you have to have 10 billion now so you can get that. You know, that treatment. You know, that treatment. Guys, I can't give you a watch market update. I hope you guys enjoy this watch market update matinee. And tomorrow I'll give you a watch market update, all right? Because it's getting late for everybody. They were down. Minimum, right? It ain't no more, coño. I want to go, but you know, Bass is keeping me here. Right, Bass? It's not no more $1 billion. $1 billion is not. You have to have now, you know, and to be honest, I don't think that guy, you know, that Magic guy, the basketball player, even had $1 billion at that time, but he had un padrino. He had a godfather. And the godfather said, come here. You're not going to die. You just take this pill for the rest of your life, like a thyroid, right? Thyroid, or, you know, taking this, you know. So he had somebody. Thank you, papi, coño, Thurston Howard. Eres brillante, Thurston. Eres grande, papá. Eres grande. Jerry Buss. Come here, my son. You're not gonna, you know, you're not gonna leave this world. You're gonna take this. Mr. Buss, what do you mean? You take this, nobody knows about this. This is only for the privileged people, for the people that are up the hill, you know, like Bass says. This is for the people that are up the hill. But I'm not up the hill, he says, but I am. But I am. And I can get you this for life. Oh, Mr. Buss, you take it, you know. This happened in 1990. We are in 2026. And the motherfroggers jumping all over the place. Saint-Tropez, La Riviera, vacilando, champagne, cliclot, you know? It's crazy, man. It's what it is. But, you know, I enjoy you guys today. I enjoy you guys, to be honest. You know, everything you guys were saying, and you guys were in rhythm, and you guys understand that this is, to be in that club today. Back then it was $1 billion. You know, not 700 million, not 495. No. You have to have a cool $1 billion. Today, privileged people get. Exactly. Today you have to have 10, papi. Maybe I'm short. Maybe I'm short, because if you look at today, what's out there. And let me tell you something before I let you go. I'm telling you, you know, there's probably in the world, and over there in Asia, I think it's Asia. Asia has like around 1,170 billionaires. So you understand what I'm trying to tell you. 1,170 billionaires. Asia. So what I'm trying to say is, how many can be around the world? Think about what I said. Let that sink in. Okay, Bass, how many billionaires around the world? Thank you, Mr. Thurston Howard III. Thank you very, very much. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. I really have enjoyed the show. But ask yourself that question. I already told you that in Asia, there are like 1,170 billionaires. And I'm not going to tell you how many are in Asia. They have 600 million, 700, 800, hay un cojón. But billionaires, it's a small club. Look at that, 2,000, papi. 2,000. So what Mr. Bass said, Those 2,000 are up in the hill. You know, there's a big tsunami coming. Okay, 3,025. There's a big tsunami coming. We're up in the hill. Nothing's going to happen. The waters won't reach over here. 3,000 billionaires, you know? It's what it is. Papi, this is all fixed and is all rigged for them, not for us. We're just a bunch of obedient slaves. Obedient. No, that I have 20 million. Tú eres un cagao. You're not gonna, no. They're not gonna spare you. No, I have 50 million. They're not gonna spare you. Yeah, I have 100 million. They're not gonna tell you the trick. I have 500 million. They're not gonna tell you the formula. You're not gonna get it ever. Papi, esa gente no se muere nunca. Ask yourself why. You know, chump change, bravo, papa, chump change. Not to us. To us, that's a fortune. That's like money that we're never ever gonna ever see. I'm talking about to those 3,000 billionaires. I heard the other day that this guy from Bookface, the guy's worth over $240 billion. Is that true, or am I wrong? Am I right? $240 billion. That guy, you know, he's a lizard, you know, the lizard kid. $240 billion. Oh, that's right. 200 million. No, man, those people buying a $700 million yacht. Musk is 500. Wow, man, it's crazy. You know, you can never get that magic pill. You can never get it, you know. But I'm waiting for this pill. You're not gonna get it, bro. You're not gonna get it. It's for them. I'm not gonna forget the word that Mr. Bass said. Those people are up in the hill, looking down. That's a new one. They're up in the hill, looking down at all of us. And there are only how many? 3,000 of them. Guys, thank you very much for being here today with me. It means a whole lot. Today I learned a whole lot from all of you. I learned a whole lot from all of you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for joining me on this matinee Watch Market Update show. Tomorrow, I'll have a watch market for all of you, for real, tomorrow. I'm only going to talk tomorrow about watches, the watch market update. Right, guys? Thank you so much again. Please don't forget to subscribe to the channel and like the video. And like me and Sweet Kick Kino say always, take care and brush your hair. And don't forget, you know, this company's going bankrupt. They told me it's going bankrupt. Ciao, papá. Cuídense mucho. Bye-bye.